How about the labs accessible only by subways? Those labs, there's the same labs. Well, some of them. Two versions of labs. Science lab, the old version. Multiple levels, finale at the bottom. New labs, just called lab on the overworld map. One floor, perfect square design, and the setup is very similar in all circumstances. Some of them are underground only, accessible via the subways. Other ones of that same type have an above-ground component that you can enter through an elevator shaft. But they're not too different from each other. I'm not a real fan of those new ones. They're a good source of CBMs because of all the scientists that you're going to kill down there. There's also an awful lot of electrical enemies, skitterbots and manhacks and things like that. One turret you have to be aware of, and as long as you know where it's at, it's not really that dangerous. And mainly it's just the initial entrance that's a problem, for the elevator at least. More so when they first started, because the elevator kept getting broken and people were getting trapped down there, not being able to get back out again. But that got fixed a while back. But other than basic chemistry stuff, it's mostly just CBMs. I almost never find anything else I care about down there. Any plans for a medieval peasant challenge? I did something like that not too far back. I'm trying to remember what it was. I've done so many now, they all blend really, really quickly. But I thought I did, thought I did a churl or curl run. Maybe it was far back. I can't remember. Curl World. I don't know how long ago that was. Date modified. That was a while back. That was 6 months ago. Churl World. I forget what exact settings I had for that, but that's the medieval peasant. Will they still spawn in Megacity maps? Oh, heck yeah. There's probably a dozen of those new type labs underneath this Megacity. Easily. Um, 7 a.m. Hungry. But we're still reading our book. But yeah, the harmonica is nice because once you put it on, it's just activate, deactivate, activate, deactivate. You don't have to wield it or anything else. You can have things in your hand and do other stuff without really having much maintenance involved. So I always grab a harmonica with a holder whenever I see one. But yeah, so I'm going to start reading. So currently my focus is 100. If I look at my morale screen, we're getting a little bit of a bonus from having the music, and we could go down and put some happy food in our belly. So we'll do a +10 from a candy bar, and +10 from sugary cereal, +15 from a Toastum, and we'll even have a yogurt. So now we've got a bunch of positive boosts. Our focus is trending to 126, meaning if I don't do anything that's going to drain my focus, it'll slowly accumulate to that number. Focus, for anybody that doesn't know, this is a direct multiplier as a percent for experience you gain for any activities. So if you're fighting, if you're crafting, if you're reading, and so on, the focus is a modifier. So at 100 focus, you get 100% XP. At 50 focus, you get half XP or 50% XP. At 200 focus, you get double XP. So, yay, get high focus. Well, the problem is, as soon as you start fighting or crafting or reading, your focus drains so massively and so quickly, it's going to quickly drop to an equilibrium level, and you're only going to get that focus bonus for a very small amount of time. So I just got tired of just the keyboard presses of trying to min-max my focus all the time, and basically just don't care anymore. My real-world time is more important to me than saving an in-game time frame for the character for a very small amount. But if I just let time pass here, you'll see my focus will go up. So 5 minutes, it didn't move. It went up 1 point. It went up another couple of points. So as you can see, it's trending upwards. The problem also being that these are going to wear off after a short amount of time, and it'll start trending back again once we no longer have the bonus. But watch what happens when I go to read this book. It's a pretty good book. There's no negative fun factor or anything, but it's going to hit a number like 50 or 60 very, very quickly, and then just stay there. So, drain, drain, drain. Not even an hour's gone by yet. I didn't look at when we started, but about an hour's gone by. And it's just going to keep draining. And no matter what I eat or what I play music-wise, nothing's going to stop that drain. It's going to just hit an equilibrium point eventually and stay there. Especially as you'll see it plateau and then start dropping again. That's because my food bonuses have worn off and so on. Now only the music bonus is running. So if we stop and we check our morale, the only thing I have is the music bonus. So it's trending to this, but the constant downward push because of the reading is keeping it at this number. Or whatever, real close to that number. So I just don't find the min-maxing worth the effort. I think it's the happiness value of the book. So this one's neutral. Some of them are +1, +2, -1, -2. I think that's what sets the equilibrium point without anything else adjusting. It might be related to skill level also. I don't really know. I've never really tested it or checked it or cared. Alright, sun's gonna go down here pretty quick. We'll go ahead and, we only made it to 5. We got one more level we can do in this book, so we'll just go ahead and let the sun go down. Zombie child coming to get me. Remember the first few days after we moved into this spot? It was zombie child, zombie child, zombie child, zombie child. So much fun. So, yeah, 60, 61 is the equilibrium point for this book. Still pretty thirsty. Yeah, we were out there without for pretty long. We gotta let our belly process some of this water. Let's do Kindle again. We're not quite tired yet. And keep on reading. Alright, midnight, coming up on midnight, and we just got tired. That's good timing. Turn the harmonica off, turn the candle off, and go take a nap. Oh, wait. Yep, we're still overweight. If we were not overweight, if it said normal, I would go up and I would nom some more raw vegetable oil. Hey man, it's not me. The toastums have 3 different values, +10, +15, +20. And that's 3 different flavors. Whoever designed the toastums and put them in game apparently had a preference for strawberry, because the strawberry toastums are the +20 value. I don't even remember what the other 2 are. All I care about is the values. It's been too long since I actually looked at the descriptions to see what flavors they were. But you can stack all 3 of them if you eat one of each. You get the +10, the +15, and the +20 separately. Toastums. So this is... Oh, they're in the cardboard box. It's showing me the cardboard box info instead of the toastum info. Man, that drives me crazy. Show me... Blueberry flavored. So that one's blueberry. This one is blueberry also? Oh, I think I only have the same kind. I think I don't have any +10s. I got only +15s. Yeah. So, blueberry. Very hungry. I don't want to chug the vegetable oil right before I start reading. So we're going to have to eat some real food. You know, real as it can be for us anyway. Let's keep working on our cheese supply. Oh, see, we're back to normal weight. That's not good. That means tonight we're gonna go back on our vegetable bin, our animal oil binge. Nope, don't eat that right now. Damn you, zombie child. I hate zombie children so much. I swear. They all are super jumpers. They all leap up and immediately smack you in the face, poke you in the eyes. Instant bleeding. Super long talons, apparently. Love those messages. There's another one where the zombie child struggles to its feet and then immediately died. So it's trying to climb through a broken glass window, dies, falls down into the bush, revives, tries to climb through the window, dies, falls back into the bush. That's what's happening. That's why I keep seeing corpses every once in a while. They'll fall somewhere other than back into the bush, and all of a sudden I've got a corpse that I have to go smush into little pieces. How come sometimes I've got everything cleared out in the range of 20 tiles and zombies still find me? The age-old question. Depends on a lot of things. Playing with wandering hordes or not, making a lot of noise beforehand or not. Are you going down into a basement or not? Is the scent, you still have a scent that billows out around you. Or they could just, you know, magically know where you're at. Like I demonstrated many, many times while we were in the basement. Yeah, let hydration get away from me again. 92%. We're getting there. Alright, Mechanics 6. That will get me most everything I need for working on vehicles. I just can't remember if it's... Actually, we can go find out. It's midnight. We have to find out during the daytime. So we'll wait on this. But, repairing the military armor is the thing that takes the most. I can't remember if it's 7 or... I think it's 7. Usually I just push to 8 just to not have to worry about anything and get it done. So we can do that. We've got mechanics to 8. It's got a -1 happiness, which is better than a -3, but it's -1. So I think our equilibrium point will be either 50 or 40. I'm not sure. It'll be a slower slog to get these last 2 levels if we push for it. But if we do, it'll mean I won't have to worry about it. We'll have everything we need. So I might push for it anyway. Let's see. Let's get a fire going. And let's boil up some water. Oh yeah, fires go out. Okay, I keep forgetting that. Let's try this again. Come here, you. Work. In progress. Use the hot plate. Skill in food handling is increased to 1. We are a boiling water professional. Oh, let's put it back into the gallon jugs. Back into the gallon jugs. Here we go. Hot water, ready to go. Now my steel jerry can is all cleaned out. We're very hungry, which is great. That's a good thing, because we're now going to have a whole crap load of animal cooking oil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, couldn't quite get 20 down. We'll wait a few minutes till our belly processes some. And have the 20th. 21, 22, 23, 24, 20. Couldn't get 25. 24 times 127 calories each. Probably will be overweight again by the time we wake up, once our system finishes processing all that. Yeah, nap time. The hidden health stat? It is an issue. I could be depressing my hidden health stat by chugging down animal oil. But the proper question is, do I care? I have also stopped really worrying about my health stat. I can care less what the health stat is. Because it naturally trends to 0 position, and unless I abuse that health stat way more than just eating this one thing a lot, it'll really quickly return back to a 0 point anyway. And I've got a gamma globulin shot if I suspect that it's in pretty bad shape. So you can see here, you wake up, you feel well rested. No bad messages have shown up, so my health stat's fine. You get a generic message when you wake up from a sleep about the current status of your health stat. So we're not actually in any kind of danger. I'm not actually sure what the number is for cooking oil. That's one thing that's not really shown in any of this info. You have to either check the wiki or dive the JSONs and all that to find the health information on foods. Generally, it's pretty obvious. Bacon bad, veggies good. But you'd really have to do some interesting things to abuse your health stat enough just by regular foods to over a long period of time to do much. We already had a cold. We took a flu shot, so I'm not too concerned about it. The healing is already way higher than I'm used to anyway, so there's not really too many effects that a bad health stat would have any consequences for me regardless, so I pay less attention to it. Animal cooking oil is neutral? Well, there you go. That's all you need to know. And we are not overweight. Wow. Wow, we had like 3,000 calories just in that nighttime snack. And we didn't manage to push our weight back over to overweight. Alright, so we'll bulk up on real food during the day, and then we'll do more of the vegetable or the animal oil at night before we go to sleep. So let's keep working on the cheese. We'll just work our way right down the list. That's quite a lot. We fit any water in? Just the one. Come on. Come on. Man, I really filled every nook and cranny. Alright, harmonica. We gotta get that other book. All right, what's our equilibrium point going to be this time? As focus plummets. Down into the 50s. Yeah, 54, 55 probably. Yeah, maybe base 50. And now we're into the 40s. Maybe it's 45. I'm not sure, like I said, if it's tied to the fun factor or the difficulty level. Those things are kind of tied together. Usually the higher levels books have the worst fun factors. So let's go ahead and stop and go get some more water in our belly. I'm having a little bit of a hydration problem just because of the limited amounts of water I can fit in. Alright, that'll be fine. Yeah, it's going to take us days just to get mechanics done. I'm almost done with my looted candles. We're going to have to resort to toilet wax candles here pretty soon. Good thing we've got a lot of it. 1 in the morning, not tired yet. Let's stop. Since I'm trying to hold the day-night cycle, although we're gonna stop pretty soon. Maybe I don't care. I keep forgetting to check the number I'll need to repair that armor during the daylight. We might still have enough moonlight for me to check. Let's go find out. Military composite armor, too dark to see what you're doing. Alright, we'll hop in, crouch, activate the cell phone, then tell me. Mechanics 7. Alright, cool. So we're almost there. 7's the highest number I need in order to fully repair, install, and so on. All of the different things I'll need. Good to know. We're almost done with the current long grind. So that means I can move soon. If I get the Humvee down there, get the SWAT truck already, that'll give me... I only need 5 frames, so I'll already have way more frames than I need. I'll probably just stick to the... Well... we might do a little bit more driving around on the motorcycle to see if we can spot an APC or another Humvee we can bring in. So I'd like to have one drivable Humvee type of a vehicle that I can mount heavier weapons to or things like that. So having a fully tricked out modified Humvee as well as the Mega City motorcycle would give us all of the advantages. So it'll be pretty quick and easy to do now that we've got mechanic skill up and I've got all the tools. Hey there, Buildor Games!
Friday.
Happy Friday right back to you. So, with that in mind, let's... Oh, see, we're back to overweight. Just took time for us to process. Well, that big lunch I had helped push us back over. Timing. What do I want to do? Do I want to flip the day-night? I definitely don't want to drive down during the day. Still need to do that at night. So now that we've made it to 7, I think it might be time to go ahead and move. And just deal with the locals as they come in to get me while I'm working on things down at the new base. I'd like to be able to stop moving around. Different locations. Just get things set up. So towards that end, let's keep reading. Keep reading till noon again, and then sleep the day away, and then we'll pack up and we'll move. Yeah, that's the plan. Hopefully we get to 7 before noon. Might make it, might not. So for folks that don't know what the discussion earlier about the hidden health stat was, the health stat is your immune system, and it's a number that trends to 0. So if you push it up positively, it will slide back to 0 unless you keep pushing it up actively via healthy foods, and so on. It's almost impossible to keep a very, very healthy immune system. It just gravitates to neutral or zero constantly. You can artificially inflate it for a short period with a gamma globulin shot. That gives you an immediate super boost to your immune system, but it only lasts maybe half a day or so, and then it's back to the neutral position again. I tend to never use it unless I've thoroughly trashed my health stat, being infected and radiated and chugging mutagens and eating bad foods or starting off triple XL obese, things like that. If I have one of those circumstances, I'll usually take the gamma globulin so that I can go from a negative 200 health stat back to the neutral position very quickly. Otherwise, that is the... Well, there's one CBM that actually helps as well, the leukocyte breeder system, but that's a lot more of a niche edge case. But that is the only way to really directly and immediately influence your health stat. Otherwise, it's a slow process where you have to eat healthy and avoid the negative stuff and so on as it slowly glides back down to the 200 or the 0 point, which can take a while. And the health stat affects your regen rate while you sleep, so your healing rate, how susceptible you are to cold and flu and things like that. So it's indirectly connected to a lot of important things. So you don't want it to get too bad, and if it is bad, you need to understand how to fix it and or how to anticipate or deal with the negatives. And you can actually see it if you absolutely needed to. If you're just sure that your game is broke, you can go to the debug menu, player, edit player, and down here under set health, you can see what your current health number is. So I am actually at positive health. We're at positive 10. And the health modifier is the number that actually does change fairly rapidly up and down based on the things you do, the things you eat, and so on. But what happens is at a certain period of time, the game looks at this modifier. If it's positive or negative, it then moves this up or down a small amount, and then it resets the modifier by a fair amount. So it removes whatever it is. If it's positive, it drops it down. If it's negative, it moves it up. But the modifier is basically used, like it says, as a modifier for this value. So this can go up and down quickly, but that's the important number. That one doesn't move at all, or doesn't move quickly, other than the gamma shot or the leukocyte breeder system. And of course, radiation. So you can look here if you absolutely have to or want to understand things. But I already knew I was in good shape, so I wasn't concerned about it. And like I said, you get a vague message after you wake up each day. If you have the self-aware trait, you can get your exact numbers and information. But I don't know, not many people seem to take that trait. Okay, so we got our mechanics of 7. Yay! We're done with that stuff. Let's turn off the harmonica. Noon, good timing again. Some more water. Not even drinking tea or any of that other nasty stuff to keep my health up. Like I said, you really got to abuse the hell out of yourself in order to have that health stat move in either direction very much. Typically, it's going to fluctuate between plus 10 and minus 10, and those are absolutely nothing to worry about in either direction. So you don't sweat the small stuff like that. You have to have some serious active modifiers or effects going on for it to really get negative. Character weight is one way that it can happen, though. So if you don't keep an eye on this weight and you go into obese and morbidly obese, they put caps on your health stat when you get to the higher and higher weight categories. So the morbidly obese, the highest weight category, which is what the XXXL scenario start does, that's the worst condition, and you're capped at the negative 200 health. So you've got the absolute maximum worst health if you have that much body weight, which makes you really susceptible. You have really slow healing rates. You have a high susceptibility to colds and flus and so on. So that's probably the quickest way to trash your health stat, is to overeat and go into one of those categories. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and sleep the night away, or the day away, and then try to, I think, load up the Humvee, maybe. Trying to decide if I want to make the move tonight, or save it for Monday's stream. Not sure. Yeah, I don't, I mean, like I said, as I've played more, and I mean, I know a lot about it, so it's a lot easier for me to make statements like I don't really need to pay attention to things like that, but the Leukocyte breeder system, I really hesitate to even install it anymore. If I don't know that I have a fairly good power generation system, I don't know that it's actually worth the power loss or the power drain that it provides. So, I mean, by the time you can really get it installed and use it effectively and such, you probably don't need it. Your health stat's already neutral. You don't need it to be 200. You're already going to heal at a good rate, and you're not usually going to be too susceptible to the diseases. Especially once you get the flu shot, that means you're down to just the cold. And if you're putting on the right gear, you'll have environmental protection on your mouth that cuts down on any chance of getting the cold. So I don't know. I've left it alone a lot of times recently when I found it. I just didn't bother to install it. Kind of like the morale system. It just doesn't affect me enough to make it worth the time and the effort. Okay, I think I forgot to tank up a little bit further. I want to get a little further into that overweight category so I don't hit normal again so quickly. But let's bulk up on the hydration first. Always drink, then eat. I keep forgetting that basic rule, but it's a good one to follow. Always hydrate before you eat. Otherwise you fill your stomach and then you can't hydrate. And it takes a long time to process your food before you can drink a decent amount. Otherwise you're sipping and waiting and sipping and waiting, and it's really annoying. Still got our 0% carving proficiency, I see. Let's see. So, 2220. Sun gone down yet? It has. Still do have some of the full moon bonus. Drag that body out of the way. Got a clear route down to the Humvee. Let's move this along a bit. Back the Humvee up. Okay. Quick, easy trip to load the vehicle up. I have to decide what we're going to take. I'm going to leave some crap behind that I know I'll just never use. Remind me, what's on the bike? That engine crane. My repair kits. My body bag. Starting stats. So when you're in the character creation screen, experienced players will put all the points they can into stats because they're the hardest thing to raise and have the largest long-term benefits to the character build, because every single skill in the game can be learned in the game. So stats can be raised both through mutations and through cybernetics, CBMs. But your opportunities to do so, unless you're specifically pursuing one path or another, are, well, that's not quite true. I play the game differently than most folks because I can't play it just to stay alive, because that's too easy. So I do small focus challenges. I get my challenge done, I bail on the character, and we start a new challenge. I don't play the character just until he dies, because that could be infinite. So I tend to focus on one side or the other. I do bionics, or I do mutations, or I do neither, and so on. But they're kind of hard to find. You got to pursue specific bionics or specific mutation paths to raise traits. Some are more valuable than others, and most of them have negative side effects as well, bad mutations that you end up getting. CBMs are a little more direct, and you can raise your stats through CBMs to varying amounts. Some of them more so than others. Like there's a hydraulic muscle CBM that adds 20, I think, to strength, but it only lasts a short amount of time. It burns a lot of power or something. I can't remember the last time I actually found one of those, the hydraulic muscle CBM. But they can be raised. All 4 stats can be raised through bionics and through mutations. And if you combine them, you can raise them to a high level. But you got to be pretty focused on getting certain things done for that. But yeah, during character gen, if you're playing for the long term, the biggest benefit you can give your character is to put it all into stats. Assuming you're playing a single pool or free form. Multi-pool, you have limits on how many points you can spend in any particular category. But you generally want to max out all your points spent in the stats category if you're doing multi-pool. Single pool, you can put even more in. And free form, of course, you can do whatever you want. But, yeah, because all the skills can be learned in-game. So you can acquire them over time, regardless. But stats are a much harder one. Alright, so I know what's on the bike. Nothing's in the car at the moment. Anything desperately wrong with this that's going to cause me a problem to get down there? Front end's pretty good that we're going to do the ramming with. I don't have... Are there any solar vehicles nearby? I don't remember seeing any solar vehicles real close that I could grab a storage battery out of. I'll have to prioritize that. Okay, let's see. Drop the baseball bat. Just so I don't have any issues with carry capacity and weight, I'm going to go ahead and grab the body bag and wield it. I showed this earlier, if you've never seen this hilarious thing. The body bag, when you wield it, gives you, you know, a tiny amount of carry capacity. just a small amount, just 100 volume. And it'll fit anything, unless you're carrying around a tank. Maximum item length, 78 inches. I'm sure there might be something that's too big to fit in there. Maybe one of the pikes, but 78 inches is pretty big. And 100 liters. So, and it contains liquids too, so you can fill it with water if you'd like. Alright, so that'll make it so I don't have any carry problems. So we'll grab those up. And I'm going to move... It's not anything I care about, so you can get out of here. We'll move the water bin into the main pile. I don't think I left anything else anywhere down here that I care other than the blanket and the pillow. Which we'll get when we're done. Will it fit a corpse? Not every kind of corpse. I think some corpses are probably too big. I think most of my corpses have gone away. So 62 volume and 15 inches. Pulp zombie corpses, 15 inches. Huh. So sure, it'll fit. A little heavy. A little hard to lug around, but it'll fit.